Mikey, your turn.
Alright, boys and girls, I'm super excited because we get to see the first clash of motorsports. We're staying in the dirt and you know the first opponent because we already saw it in action, the Puma. But for the second, you'll have to listen to my last interview.
Hi, I'm Robbie Madison. I'm freestyle motocross rider. I've done a lot of cool stunts.
As a champion athlete and stunt performer, what does flirting with the limit mean for you?
To me, flirting with the limit is like being in the moment. When you're able to flirt with the limit, you're operating at the full maximum potential that you're able to operate. That's the pinnacle, right? That's peak performance.
And you guys, are you ready to flirt with the limits? Team Hanson or Team Madison? Which side are you on? The Ford Puma. Now you know better than anyone what this machine is capable of. You're witnessing a real speed clash. The first one to the finish is the winner. Right now, the bike and the car are on the same course, but to keep things fair, they'll diverge onto separate routes, designed to let each vehicle work to its full potential. The course is about to split. Straight ahead for the car, right for the motorcycle. KTM definitely has the advantage of airtime. She's much better at jumping. But the Puma can deal with asphalt and is more reliable on straights. Both have their strong points. Which one will exploit theirs best? No matter the vehicle, dirt requires reflexes, but above all, instinct. Making the right choices quickly is the key to surviving the race. answer, boys and girls.
The dirt chapter is finished. We're moving on to asphalt vehicles. We start quietly, and I use big quotation marks, with a little warm-up ride on a racing bike.
Podcast studio. Listen to this, folks. What you're hearing is the sound of the KTM RC16 2022 version, and that's my guess for today. 4 cylinders, 1,000 cubic centimetres, 250 horsepower for just 346 pounds. Take a look at this dynamic marvel and get ready to drive in the time attack. Don't forget, when you're driving along the coast of Maui or the streets of Honolulu, you can listen to all the podcast episodes on the Sounds of Red Bull track list. Now, time to unleash the moto racing power.
Boys and girls, this event can seem simple, but it's crucial for our driver. A time attack to test whether the driver can handle the next clash of disciplines. The Glass Bend is undoubtedly a playground landmark, and no lie, it's definitely not safe. The RC16 is a little marvel. We had to wait until 2017 to see the RB KTM factory join the competition. The brand has won everything in other competitions, so it was time to see them take on moto racing. Test passed. Now our driver can either play it safe and keep this vehicle or roll the dice with something unknown. It's an agonizing decision.
Of disciplines in sight. When a racing bike meets a racing car, it's a real battle for the asphalt.
For the next one, we'll put two disciplines in a head-to-head race and see which one crosses the line first. Racing car or racing bike? Which one is the best? Will it be the beautiful Ferrari 488 in its circuit version or the KTM RC16 that we all know has great skills? I'm leaning towards the bike. It's lighter and its top speed flirts with 224 miles per hour. It's the logical choice. But aren't we here to defy the laws of logic? Racing car addicts, it's up to you to prove otherwise. Ferrari meets Red Bull.
discussion.
Flash. Hear all the insights on the world of racing on Sounds of Red Bull, the official channel of motorsport.
Hey boys and girls, I hope you can keep up because we're about to go hard with the elite of motorsports, the AGP. Cars that can easily go up to 220 miles per hour. And because we always want more in this playlist, we add boost gauges. It's going to be strategic. And as always, I did my homework and talked all things racing with a pro driver. You might know him, Yuki Tsunoda.
Could you break down what you feel your driving style is for us watching you on the screen?
My dad used to teach me a lot about braking. Definitely, I like to adapt braking. Recently, last two Grand Prix was a bit too much sometimes, and yeah, unfortunately, a couple of times went to the wall. You know, feels great when you feel the G-force. You know, with the maximum longitudinal G-force when you have nailed the great braking.
And beside braking hard, be focused at the start. It's decisive for the rest of the race.
Drivers are focused. The start is imminent. Let's go! A full AGP race, using boosts in the right place at the right time, will be decisive. It's going to be a completely different race from now on. Circuit. 4 generations, RB13, 14, 18 and 20. 7 years of evolution from Renault to Honda engines. Between them, these 4 account for more than 70 podiums. nitro, now's the time to use it. Superb victory. Proof that RB AGP just keeps getting better and better.
You've just discovered the RB20. You can keep it for what follows, but you can also opt for a vehicle that's a little less earthbound. The choice is yours.
Podcast, guys. As you've seen, the playground is a motorsport paradise, but there's still a place that we haven't experienced so far: the sky. I was lucky enough to feature Luke Chapella, Red Bull Air Race pilot, famous for being the first to land the plane on the very tiny helipad 600 feet in the air.
I'd love to know more about the bullseye stunt. There's an attempt, and then the plane like bounces and you keep going, and I had a heart attack and was like, oh my God.
I almost got a heart attack on the first one as well. It took me like 650 practice landings before I went for that.
This is the second time that Red Bull is loaning you the RB20. You'll start to make a Dutchman jealous. Unsurprisingly, the AGP has the advantage on starter, but once the plane is airborne, it's a different story. If you're a Red Bull addict, you'll probably know that this isn't the first time an AGP and a plane have been put on the same grid. Last time, it was in a straight line in a drag race. Here the plane will have to make very tight turns if it wants to keep up with the AGP, which is much more accustomed to doing so. That's really exciting. We enter the second lap. the RB20 on the track today, certainly more so than its aerial rival. Stressed for 10G and capable of reaching 975 meters per minute, its size makes it the perfect aerobatic aircraft. Let's hope our pilot will give us a taste. Then neck and neck. Of turns is tricky. When it comes to speed, the AGPs play in a different division.
Clash to close this Red Bull playlist. This one is big. Confronting two disciplines is not enough. So MOTORFEST and Red Bull are offering you the choice of three. Which is the best? Becky asked our Red Bull athletes what they think.
In your honest opinion, between Rally, AGP and Motor... The Ford Fiesta replaced another Ford at short notice. The Puma missed weight.
Answer in, about a few minutes. The rally car has already changed its course to reach the dirt. Each vehicle has its own special route designed to match its strengths. The AGP stands out for its speed and braking quality, and of course it sticks to asphalt and is unbeatable in corners. So to make things fair, it will be racing the longest route. The bike's route, on the other hand, is shorter but ultra-technical, forcing the rider to swing through the curves without losing speed. asphalt. That's its strength. In addition to its high acceleration, its all-terrain capability means it can compete with faster rivals. Is the longest. Everything can still change. Racetrack, the Speed War. Dirt proving stronger than asphalt, the rally car set the fastest time.
You've yet to claim your reward, driver. End of speed clash. The first milestone in a promising relationship between Red Bull and MOTORFEST. I'm sure this is just the beginning. You've discovered a multitude of racing vehicles in this playlist, all of them motorsports gems. But we had to choose just one for the reward. We thought maybe you wouldn't mind having a Red Bull branded Ferrari in your garage. The Ferrari F48 GT3 F Corse is just for you. A playlist is available, driver. New challenges unlocked. New playlist ahead. Let's go. Want to give this one a try? Let's go for this one. I have a good feeling. New playlist ahead. Let's go. Next activity, set it and let's go. Playlist cleared and ready for takeoff, driver. MOTORFEST invites you off the beaten track for its wildest experience, the Off-Roading Series, a rugged championship that'll see you through jaw-dropping remote locations. Each series comes with its own professionals. This time, you'll meet Pierce, a British off-road specialist invited by the MOTORFEST to help guide you through Hawaii's complex terrain. There isn't a place in the world that Pierce hasn't visited. As well as being an outstanding mechanic, he knows all about off-road environments. Off-Roading Addict, a series championship by MOTORFEST. What is next in line? The first step, a quad race. Perfect to get you into the swing of things. unpredictable,